All right, the recording is going. Share screen. Okay. So on this hand, we don't have an invitational amount of points, right? But where is the best place to play? Should we be leaving our partner in one no trump, right? Or do we want to, right? Two spades? Is there another possibility besides two spades? We didn't give our partner a chance to bid hearts, right? So if we're playing new minor forcing, we can tell our partner, hey, I'm 5-4, but I'm less than an invitational hand. Does that make sense? And now our partner can either choose spades or they can play hearts, right? So this is a minimum hand. I don't have enough points to use invitational values, but I can still try to work out a major fit instead. And now partner will bid two spades. We'll get to a fit in a major suit. No doubt the best place to be playing, right? And this will many times be the right place to be. Certainly will be a little bit more easy to deal with than having to play in no trump. Although you never know on any particular hand which is going to be the best, but I think most people would rather be playing in two spades here than playing in one no trump. All right, so that's a minimal hand. Now we're going to do something a little different now. And we're going to look at hands where we have 6 points. I mean 6 spades. 6 spades or six hearts. Right here we have 7, 8 points. In the notes I use the term constructive, and somebody asked me, thought maybe I should footnote that. I came up with a definition that I think is important to remember. A constructive hand is a response hand where if your partner has a maximum hand, right, 18 or 19 points, then you should be playing in game. Okay? So constructive meaning, I can lay down the very base of this, but the vast amount of this building has to be you, right? So a constructive hand is a minimum hand between 7 to 9 points, a bad 10, maybe a really good 6, right? That if partner has a maximum hand, they can go to game. So here, with this 8 points here, I have a constructive hand, and I have the 6 spades. So when our partner bids one club, we bid the ambiguous major, right? Which we all remember means that I could have 4 plus spades, and I may have 11 of them. Who knows? I may have all the rest of the points in the deck, or I may have just 4 or 5, right? If I'm the kind of guy who always responds with an ace. So this is a very ambiguous bid, the ambiguous major. We get a 1 no trump, and now the issue is, where do we want to play? I don't have enough to use new minor forcing. Right? Does this seem like 1 no trump is the right place? Okay. So what we want to be able to do is put our partner in 2 spades here and have them know that we really don't want them to bid anymore, that we're constructive. And we can do that if we're playing new minor forcing by simply bidding 2 spades. And now we're promising we have no interest in game after hearing the 1 no trump, right? Because we know we're constructive, and if they're limited to 14, we know there is no game, right? So we're saying no interest in game. We're going to be better off in spades than we are in no trump. Now, if any of you ever play with the robots, you'll notice that sometimes they bid this with 5, and sometimes you will find it worthwhile to bid it with 5. Generally speaking, opener is going to have at least 2 spades. Let's say he opens a diamond, you bid a spade, and you go to no trump. Right? At that point, you look in your hand and you have a singleton club, right? And partner bid diamonds before clubs, so it's looking a lot like he has a balanced hand with more diamonds than clubs. And you might think, boy, with my good spade suit, all my points in this spade suit, maybe we really still want to be in 2 spades, even though it's only 5-2, right? So you never know. You never know. And lots of times, even when you do that, it turns out he has 3 anyways, right? So the robots, when they play that, they call it a retreat from no trump with a constructive hand. Most of the time when it's going to come up for us, it's going to be when we have 6 and no interest in going any further after 1 no trump. All right, so our partner passes out, and he has a couple spades for us. He almost always will. Almost always will. And this hand ends up being fairly straightforward. We stopped at a low number. Does 1 no trump rebid promise at least 2 of partner's major? Well, I like to say that it does, and everybody likes to say that it does promise that. But there are times when you still feel like 1 no trump's the right place. And say a 1-4-4 hand with your partner, having 1 in your partner's suit. Sometimes you feel confident in playing 1 no trump. 1 no trump will limit your hand, which you might want to do if you're really weak. So there are times, very rare times, when your partner will bid 1 no trump and having a singleton somewhere, and you just have to forgive them, because it might be me. But yeah, for the most part, I think that we can say 1 no trump rebids at least 2 of partner's major. It almost always will, right? Which makes this bid particularly safe. In fact, it will make all of the bids we're going to talk about today safe. All right, so let's look at this. So I've got 13 points, and I'm going to jump into the other seat. And let me reserve this for my buddy Fred. Okay, so this time partner opens 3, 4, 5, 8, 13, opens 1 diamond, and I have 6, 8, 3, 11 points. This is a medium hand, or what we might call an invitational hand. And so we have constructive hands, invitational hands, and maximum hands. And then we have good and bad of each, right? So, but this is an invitational hand with 6 hearts. And what's our bid? Yeah, of course, the ambiguous major. Partner bids 1 no trump. Now here is the interesting thing that we're going to that I set aside a whole week for. Okay, so there's a concept I want you to grasp, and once you grasp this concept, you're going to have it for any number of more advanced techniques, including the intermediate convention of Lebensal. Obviously, we want to invite with this hand. And the question is, well, what's an invitational hand? I mean, what's an invitational bid here? Generally speaking, we jump, right, to show an invite, right, to go straight to 3 hearts. But because we're playing new minor forcing, we have 2 paths. Sometimes I don't know if I say that correctly. I have some sort of speech problem. Paths, 2 roads, 2 trails to get to 3 hearts, right? Because we play new minor forcing. So we can use new minor forcing here and then bid 3 hearts. So we could bid 3 hearts directly, or we could bid new minor forcing and then bid 3 hearts. And that gives us 2 paths to 3 hearts. What an extravagance. What an extravagance. How should we use that fact that we got 2 ways to get to 3 hearts? Anybody? Got an idea? I think that if you have 2 paths, it might make sense to have 2 meanings. A meaning for when we use new minor forcing and go to 3 hearts, or a meaning when we go to 3 hearts directly. Okay? Now, this first part of this bid is something everybody will play, which is if you go directly to 3 hearts, it's invitational. 6 and invitational, an extra heart and invitational values. Okay? You don't even need to look at new minor forcing here, but you are limiting your hand, and if your partner is on the weak side, they will just bid 3 hearts. I mean, they'll just pass you out there. If they have 14 points or whatever, if they have a hand that looks like it should be in game opposite an invitational hand, then they'll bid on. Your partner passes because he's sort of flat. He's got a couple of aces. He's got your king jack, so a 9-card suit, but he's got a lot of losers. And in this situation, he blows it, right? Because you got the ace, king, queen, and the ace, king. And if the king of spades is on the right side, you got all sorts of tricks. But you do have to deal with the missing ace and queen. All right? But the point here, the point of this hand and the hands we're going to look at is that the next hand we're going to look at is that we can take 2 roads, 2 paths to get to 3 hearts. And because we have 2 paths to get there, we're going to assign 2 meanings. Right? The first one is if we jump straight to 3 hearts after 1 no trump, we have 6 and we're inviting. All right? So let's look at this one. Okay, I gotta get back up there, unfortunately. And there. Here we have 6, 7, and 6, right? 13 points. We got an ace and a side suit. Got a nice looking hand, right? 6, 3, 2, 2. Our partner opens 1 diamond, or 1 club. I hit the wrong one. We don't care. Can he undo? He can. 1 diamond. Our bid, of course, it's a heart. The ambiguous major. Not a whole lot of information we're conveying to our partner, but opener, who's one of his duties on his rebid is always to limit his hand as much as possible. Once your partner limits his hand, whether it's the responder or the opener, if somebody limits their hand when you're in auction, then the person who hasn't limited their hand yet will have a good idea of where to go. Right? And if you both keep building new suits and you never have any idea if what your partner is limited to, then it's hard. You can get very confused. So when partner here bids 1 no trump, it's really, really helpful because now North knows exactly where to be. Right? Now, one thing you can do with a hand like this is decide, do I have any chance of a slam? What do you think? Do you see a slam with this hand opposite a 14-pointer? Yeah? 13. No one's ever had a 27-point slam before? Slams are 9 times out of 10 are made on distribution and not made on points. And not only that, the better scoring slams are the ones where no one's bid it except you because you're the only one who looked at distribution. So one thing you can do is think, okay, well, my partner has 12 to 14 points. Let's give him 12, 13 points. Right? To make slam on this, he's going to need to have at least one of those aces. Right? And probably he's going to need to have a black king as well. So that's 7 points. And he's going to need to have a couple hearts. Doesn't necessarily need to have a point there, but you probably want to have a king. And it's not impossible that he could have the exact right 14 points here. Right? But it seems like a stretch. Seems like a stretch. But let's be bold, especially since it'll be the easiest way to demonstrate this thing. If I bid 2 clubs here, okay, it's the new minor forcing bid, and I'm asking my partner to show me 3 hearts. If he doesn't have 3 hearts, then he's going to not deny having them. He'll do it by showing me 12 to 13 points with a diamond bid, or showing me 14 points by bidding 2 no trump. So here he's showing me 12 to 13 points. So I know now it's pretty weak, right? Do I really think there's 12 to 13 points out there that will get me to slam when I've got 2 losers in clubs and 2 losers in spades, and I got some holes in my red suits? I think, nah, I'm not interested now. So now I can go on to 4. Right? So that's a hand where I have some minor slam interest. I wanted to see what my partner had. Yeah, good. I don't have to move around this time. Now let's look at this one. Now I've got 7, 8, 6, 14, 16 points, 16 whole points when my partner opens. Is anybody thinking slam now? Yeah, absolutely. Right? We know from our partner's bids where things are heading. If we just spend a little time thinking about it, wow, he's got an opening hand. I've got 16 points, so we're up around 28, 29 points, even if he's minimum right now. We're up around 28, 29 points. And I have his king of clubs. Maybe he actually has some clubs, and my king of clubs has some value. What's my bid? Still the same old boring 1 spade. The ambiguous major. And we get 1 no trump. This is going to be the second path that we use. This is going to be where I know that I have slam interests. How do I keep this moving? And we're going to start by using new minor forcing. We're going to use that second path to 3 spades, right? Instead of, if we bid 3 spades directly here, 6 an invitational. Now our partner bids 2 no trump, which tells us he's minimum, right? Because he would have gone straight to 3 no trump with 4. But he's minimum, so he bids 2 no trump. So 12 to 13 points. We're not undeterred. We are still interested in slam, and we know that 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, our partner's going to have a couple spades. So we know there's a fit. Right? So what we're going to do here is now we're going to use the second path to the 3 level. Right? 1 club, 1 spade, 1 no trump, 3 spades. Path number 1 is invitational. 1 club, 1 spade, 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, 2 no trump, 3 spades. The long road, if you will. The slow road, the less traveled road to 3 spades. The second path to 3 spades is a slam try. All right, this is a game force, and it's naming the spade suit. Game force, and it names the spade suit. And we're doing that because 9 times out of 10, our partner will have 2 spades. So we've named the spade suit, and we have a game force in place. Anybody remember our control bidding lessons? What are the preconditions before we show a control? What has to exist? There has to be a game force, and there has to be a suit. That's right, Mark. Game force, trump agreement, and there we are, right? And we have an unlimited hand, right? North is unlimited, right? So opener has no clue what's necessary for North to make a slam. All he knows is North is put in a game force and left room to bid. So what should South do? Yeah, exact. Jim's calling it a Q bid. I will tell you that I think it's a better word to use control. Q bids, I think, are better defined as bids of the opponent's suit. We're Q bidding, we're using a bid on the opponent's suit. A control bid is where we have game force and suit agreement. Okay? And one hand is unlimited. All right, so South, he doesn't need to. It's a good point, but South hasn't agreed to spades, but by bidding 1 no trump, we're making this assumption that will bite us in the butt 2 or 3 times during our careers where our partner's been forced for some reason to bid 1 no trump with 1 spade. And we're hoping he had a good reason for that. Yeah, we're going to use a control bid. You bid controls up the line. Control bid, you bid up the line, meaning that whatever the suit is here, you go up in rank from that. So from spades, you go to clubs, to diamonds, to hearts, right? And the problem that you guys can't see South's hand, I hope, shouldn't be able to tell whether he has a diamond control. South is the one that's going to be control bidding first, okay? And a control bid makes a promise. The promise is that defenders won't take 2 off the top in that suit. Okay, they may get that first round, but they won't take 2 in a row. They won't take 2 in a row. So South, oh, that must be confusing. I don't want all the hands showing. Oh, you guys are sneaky. Okay, so I'm going to have you kib North there. That's funny. I'm the only one who can't see all the hands. And I guess people just watching Zoom can't see them all either. Okay, now hopefully the kibs are in the same place. So going up the line, we're in a game force, and we have agreed on a suit, although that was North forcing the issue. And now South has to give us a control bid, a promise. Partner, they're not going to lead the ace-king, and we're not going to go down 2. Now, if you've been playing bridge for very long, if you've never got yourself into a slam where they took 2 off the top, then I don't think you're trying hard enough. All right? This is sort of a scientific way of negating that, but fact of the matter is we often visualize slams. We don't have a way to scientifically bid our way to a slam. So we have to visualize the cards being in the right place, and sometimes we're wrong. But our partner bids 4 diamonds. Now there's 2 things that are important here. Right? First, he has a first or second round control in diamonds. So the ace or the queen or a stiff, probably not a stiff, right? Because he bid no trump. So probably has an ace or king there. But he has also bypassed the club suit. And that's important. It's really important. Exactly. What you bypass, you deny. There I'm quoting Eric Rodwell from his book. When you bypass, you deny. That's his first bidding topics book, which has an excellent section on slam bidding. He is denied having a club. So if we had 2 losers in clubs, and he has 2 losers in clubs, we are able to escape this slam investigation at the 4 level. We don't need to go any higher. We know they can lead 2 clubs and beat a slam, so we won't go any farther. My problem is that I know they can't take 2 tricks in clubs, right? Because I'll rough the second time around. So now I can see that all the suits are controlled, though, right? Because he's shown me a first or second round control in diamonds. Right? He doesn't have one in clubs. So if he has the ace of diamonds, he could have the king of diamonds. I don't know, right? So that suit's controlled. The clubs are controlled because I can only lose 1. Hearts are controlled. Spades are controlled. And now I have to make a decision on whether I want to ask for control, key cards. Do I want to ask for key cards? I can't use control bids anymore. There's no more room. So how many people want to check out aces? We've got 2. That means that partner is going to have 2 aces, 2 aces, 2 key cards for us to have a shot at slam. Anybody interested? Marcia says, yeah, she's always willing to go. It's got to have some points somewhere. That's a great philosophy in life. All right, so we'll ask. And our partner plays 14-30. All right, our partner's playing 14-30, meaning that clubs is 1 or 4 key cards, diamonds is 0 or 3 key cards, hearts is 2 key cards, missing the queen of trump. 5 spades is 2 key cards with the queen of trump. All right, and our partner only has 1 key card. What's our bid now, hearing that he only has 1? Yeah. 5 spades with a lump in our throat. 5 spades with a lump in our throat. Okay. But the important part about this hand was the issue of how do we make a slam try with 6, right? And we're doing that by using the slow road, the longer path to get to 3 hearts. We bid 3 hearts immediately with an invitational hand in 6, but we will use 3 hearts the slow way to make a slam try, to establish a game force. This isn't all that bad. We got 3 hearts, and we're going to have 2 clubs to pitch on. And we're missing the ace of diamonds. I think we're going to lose 2. And we got the queen of spades out there. It's got to be nicely placed. Right. Anyways, that's how we got there. Hopefully we can limit that to 2. Let's take another one. Ooh, we got a nice hand here. Look at those spades. 9 and 3 is 12 with a void. Control. Since the lead will come from east, can South bid a control suit that is a doubleton king? Really good question, Alan. I tend to think about the auction, and I tend to think about whether we've identified that suit as being weak. Sometimes it's a suit that our partner has opened, so it will not look like a suit that should be led. So I kind of play it both ways. If it looks to me like after auction that a club, you using a suit there. Let's say my partner did opened a diamond, and we've control bid, and we had to stop, and it's clear that the clubs are missing, are going to be missing, and I've got the king. It's like I might not show a control there, but usually I do. Usually I do, especially if my partner's shown the suit, because I'm hoping he has something in it. Technically speaking, though, you're right. It's only a half trick. Yeah, it could scare them off a lead. Although if they have, you never know. Controls: Ace, King, Void, Singleton is a very good way to describe it. Ace, King, a Void, or a Singleton. Ace, a King, a Void, or a Singleton. You can call it a protected king. The more protection, the better, as Alan points out. Bid. I hope by now you're calling this the ambiguous major, because what we need to do is see this flag go up, right? And that's one of the reasons years and years and years ago I called it the ambiguous major. In my mind, I actually have a picture of the ambiguous major, and he's a silly looking cartoon character. But it's a red flag that goes up. I don't miss new minor forcing. I don't miss four suit forcing. I don't miss support doubles, because I'm constantly aware of the fact that when my partner responds one spade or one heart, I don't know how many he has, and I don't know how many points he has, right? So if you recognize the flag, if you get the flag, you're in good shape. Uh-oh, something's happened. No. Okay. Thought BBO was going to let me down for a second. One club, one spade, one no trump. What do you want to do with this hand? 12 points with a void, and likely we have a spade fit. Partner almost certainly has two. Frankly, do we care whether he has one or two? Right? We're missing the jack out of a 6-card suit. Yeah. So if we think this is an invitational hand, we go straight to 3 spades. Marg's in for new minor forcing. What would a jump to 4 spades mean? I'm going to tell you right now, if you jump to 4 spades here and somebody asks you what does it mean, say, it means I think we can make 10 tricks. Not 1, not 11, not 12. I have absolutely no slam interest, and I think we can make 10. And you can make that bid with a long spade suit, really long spade suit, or you can make it with just a game hand. So you can go straight to 4 spades as well, and that will settle things. Okay, so we like game. I think it's a game going hand too. That void is important. We know that there is a. So let's see how many points he has. Let's see if he's got support for us. Having 3 here would be great, wouldn't it? Give us a 9-card suit. Oops, trying to bid on the wrong one. 3 no trump. No support, but 14 high card points. So where do we want to go with this? Let him play 3 no trump? Yeah, we'll bid 4 spades. Right, we're just a little too good to just write off the hand and bid 4 spades directly. We have a void. We know our partner doesn't have any points in spades. one at most. That means he's got 12 points spread out. And if those 12 points happen to be 12 to 14 points happen to be in hearts and clubs, then we could be in real good shape, right? Give him the ace, king, queen of hearts, the ace of clubs. That's 13 points. Give him two small spades. And where do you want to be? You want to be in slam, right? The distribution makes it interesting, which is the reason why we could make a slam try. But once we hear he's balanced, he doesn't have help for us. It doesn't look quite as interesting. Could still be there. He does have three aces, so we got a big hole in hearts, missing the queen of clubs. Have one pitch on the diamonds. He did come through with the jack of spades, so no spade losers. A heart, two clubs, a diamond, and pretty good hand. Right? Might be able to set up an extra heart for the 10th, but we're in the right place. Jumping around a little bit. I hope I don't use the same hand twice. All right, 4, 5, 6, 11 points. Partner opens a club. Ambiguous major. 12 to 14 balanced. And what is our bid? What kind of hand I joke, and it's really not a joke, but I say that whenever you pick up your hand, you should name it, right? And if you gave this hand a name, it would be an invitational single suitor, right? The nice thing about naming your hand ahead of time is you tend not to forget the name. You focused on your actual distribution. You focused on your strength. And now you can just make alterations as it comes along, and you pretty much know immediately where you want to bid. Okay, so a little pre-work before you start bidding, just name your hand. This hand's an invitational single suitor. So what is our bid? Anybody? There we go. We got the two choices there. Now Taz is saying use new minor forcing, and Ray is saying let's jump straight to three spades. This is the one little twist. I mean, why we're even playing around with these 6-card suits is because I want you to bid three spades directly if you're invitational only. Okay, just go directly there. That's path one. I want you to use new minor forcing and then three spades if you have slam interest. Okay, you can use new minor forcing and then four spades if after you hear your partner's response you're not really interested in slam anymore. Or you can just bid four spades directly if you just think you can make 10 points and there's no way at all that you will ever get to slam. So here, yeah, we're invitational. A balanced invitational is the 6 cards, right? Single suited, sort of balanced though. 6, 3, 2, 2. You squint a little bit and it looks really. So we get three spades. Partner should have two spades, and very often they'll have three. 9-card fits aren't that unusual. And partner comes through with a extra spade. All right, he's actually got three. All right, he's got 6, 8, 4, 12 points, but he decided to go to game. Who would fault him for going to game on that? What makes his hand stronger than 12 points? And what makes it weaker than 12 points? Evaluate South's hand in light of the fact that partner's shown 6. That's good. I mean, he doesn't have any distribution, right? That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. He's got a sequence in clubs. That's a good thing. He's got a hard ace. If you define opening a club and rebidding one no trump is 12 to 14 points, well, he's got 12 points. Did his hand improve that much? After he found out that they had a 9-card fit? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, there's some play. There's some play. I don't know if it makes it. I don't want to play it right now. I can't remember how this hand came about. These hands are either hands that I played with the robots. Your board keeps popping up on top of Zoom. I have no idea. Oh, this one. Yeah. I don't know that I would have gone to game on this, but I thought it'd be a fun time to talk about evaluation. All right, let's try another. Yeah, this is a different one. Seven to six is 13. Partner opens. What kind of hand do we have? We have a single suited hand, kind of single suited balanced, meaning we don't have any stiffs. And we got the 6-3-2-2. Partner opens a club. Ambiguous major. 4 plus spades. 5, 6, 7 plus points. That's about it. Partner bids 1 no trump. What's our bid? Yeah, I think it's new minor forcing too. I mean, it's not a hand where we're stretching to get to game. We know it's game. We don't have a lot of points, but we could picture honors in our partner's hand that might help. I mean, he's gonna have to cover some clubs and hearts, but might as well see how many points he actually does have. Find out if we have a spade fit, a 9-card spade fit here. And what does this mean? What has partner told us with this 2 hearts response to 2 diamonds? You got 4 hearts. Has he told us anything else? Any additional information? Yeah, he's minimum 12 to 13 high card points. Doesn't have 3 spades. That's all. That's what we got there. So just go straight to game here, or do you want to find out? Do you want to look? Do you have any kind of slam interest? Oh, am I not? I'm sorry, Jackie. That's because I haven't been claiming any hands. So we've just been discussing them as they come up. Yeah, I mean, if you don't really have any slam interest, then the only other question you have to ask yourself is, well, would we be better off playing in no trump? Well, is there a chance no trump will score better, and especially at match points? You know? And if that's the case, you um, uh, could bid like 3 spades here. But yeah, but it seems to me that 4 spades is the bid as well. If you bid 3 spades, I don't know that you'd end up with anything. This is probably the best way to go. Good question. This is a really good question, Roland. But we've kind of made an executive decision based on the fact that most people, if you were to poll partnerships, most partnerships will tell you that they're going to show you 3-card support for partners major before they show 4 in the other suit. Okay. it's not hard to come up with some arguments that in some auctions it makes sense to show a 4-card heart suit before 3 spades, because partner, if he has spades, could just bid them, right? So, but we're not going to go there. It's a little bit more complicated, but something worthwhile talking about with your partners. So it's more of an executive decision based, I think, on just a consensus. Um, I have no idea what that would be, but I think just in my experience over the last 10 years, I've seen more people play it this way. I'm not convinced that it's right. I think that it very well might make more sense sometimes to show 4 hearts before you show your 3 spades. All right, so we pass out 4 spades here. Partner came through with queen. Good hearts. King of clubs to go along with our queen. Those dubious, all you people who use those dubious queens and jacks, that's a great way to do it, except for the fact that give your partner a king, and there's nothing dubious about your queen anymore at all, but you discounted your hand because of it. A lonely queen is only looking for a king, and vice versa. In fact, sometimes you're just looking for a jack. Diamond issues, though. A couple diamond losers. Lose 2 diamonds, lose the ace of clubs, and hope the spade split. You should make 4. All right, any questions on this? I think we went through all of the hands that I had with 6. Anybody have any questions? All right, so I think that we're going to continue in this vein for one more week. I think that Lebensal is the easiest convention that people won't play because they think it's too hard. Lebensal's simple. It's easier than learning all the ins and outs of Jacobi transfers and minor transfers. It's really simple. In fact, I'm convinced, I'm not joking, I'm convinced I can teach people, and people tell me I'm wrong sometimes, but I think I can teach Lebensal in 6 10-minute lessons, 1 hour of 6 minutes. There is a on my YouTube channel, if you poke around in the playlists, you can find some rather old ones that I keep meaning to redo with 5 of those lessons. It's really handy to play, and actually, you can use it in a couple different places. One of them being if, let's say that the person to your left opens a week 2, right? Opens a week 2, and then partner doubles, right? That's a hard position to be in. Well, Lebensal has a cure for that too. I know what you mean there. It seems weird, but and there will be a time that your partner will have 1 spade, but it's 99% of the time they're going to have 2. Okay, back to the beginning with 5-4 hand with less than invitational hands. You bid 2 hearts. Yes, exactly. That's this hand here. Probably a good thing Kate has us going back to this because, oops, that's not it. I had not turned on the movie at this point, so we'll get this in at the end of the movie. Exactly. You would never rebid your hearts if you have invitational or better. There'd be no point in doing it. Once you agree to play new minor forcing, a lot changes about your hand, about your agreements, right? And it's important when you're playing with against when you're at a tournament and you're playing with people. Is this really it? I guess so. That you know whether your opponents are playing new minor forcing, right? You can do that just by picking up their card when they sit down at your table and just say, do you mind if I look at your card? And then just check out a few things. Find out what their carding is. Look to see if they play new minor forcing, because you never want to ask these questions during an auction. So partner bids one no trump. Right? And we don't know whether we're better in one no trump, or if, in fact, we might be better off playing 5-2 in spades, but because we have a heart suit, we give them a shot to pass us there. Because we're playing new minor forcing, they know we have no game interest at all. We're a constructive hand at best. So if the partner has 4, they'll be there. If they have 3 spades, they'll put you back in spades. They might even just be taking a preference. But the idea is, we know we're not getting the game, so let's get out at a safe place. Any other questions? Okay, so here's the thing about next week. I want to show you a variation of new minor forcing. And for some of you, it will be fine. And for some of you who are here as partnerships who are just thinking about adding new minor forcing, you might decide to skip right over this, because I think that the convention I'm going to show you is easier, but nowhere near as popular among intermediate and beginner players. I mean, it's almost always used by more advanced pairs. And that's something called two-way new minor forcing. And we'll get to it. It involves, it's a little bit different. I'm going to give you 1 week of it. I think it'd be worth, even if you don't think you're ready to play something like that right away, I think that it's worthwhile to take a look at it. Okay, because someday you're going to keep getting better. Someday you might want to try it. So next week we're going to do two-way new minor forcing, and that will leave our 3 weeks in December to learn support doubles and to take a look at a new minor, negative doubles and fourth suit forcing. I tend to think of fourth suit forcing as being not quite in the same vein as these other 3, but we'll touch on that as well. So I'm going to head that way. I was going to take a poll, but I think I'm just going to say I want to do two-way new minor forcing next week. All right. Anybody have any other questions? Otherwise, I think we're going to call it quits. As responded, then constructive 7 to 9, invitational 10 to 12, 13 plus. As a responder, that is all correct. And Jim, when we work together enough, you know that those are metaphorical numbers, right? We're not locked into points. But I tend to think of it as constructive, being hand. If my partner has a really good hand, we should be in game. And invitational, meaning if my partner has an invitational hand, we should be in game. Or if he's at the top of his minimum range, we should be in game, right? And if you just think of it that way, it gets a lot easier. All right, then I'm going to turn it all off, and I'll get a movie out later, and I hope that worked well. Set aside 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays, not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards, right? Starting a week from Saturday. I'm really hoping that we can make this time slot ours for a pairs tourney. And in the meantime, if you would like to be playing in it, and you don't have a partner, why don't you email me and I'll play matchmaker. I know most of y'all, so I'll play matchmaker and hook you up. And anyways, that's that. Thanks again. I hope it went well. I was a little scattered as usual, but we'll see you next week.